This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through your 2021 Flagstaff Superlight 29 RSWS. Okay, so we're on the door side of the trailer, and I will move towards the rear. Okay, so at the very rear you have your control for your rear stabilizers. The one switch works the door side and off door side rear jacks, and then the one up, there's a switch up front that will do the front two jacks. So we're just going to push, extend, down it comes. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so all you're going to do is bring it down and snug it up. You're not going to lift the trailer with it or anything like that. It's just to take the, to stabilize it, to take the wiggle out of it. Okay, get up here. You have a power awning and an outside kitchen. Hold on, let me do this without, keep it in focus there. Okay, here we go. So you've got an outside refrigerator. This works on 110 AC. As soon as you plug in the trailer, it will turn on. You have a swing out range top, like so, with two burners. Now this has to be plugged in to the quick connect port under the trailer. That's the male end. There's a little sign here that says LP disconnect. And if you look down here, if I can get down here low enough to show you, hold on. Right here is the quick connect. This end here will plug into this female right here. So basically all you do is, let me see if I can get closer so I can show you. You will push this back, the male end fits in there, and you let it go and you'll lock it into place, and then you turn on your gas by going like that. Okay, so that this fitting, this line draws from your one of your or both of your 30-pound tanks up front. So it uses your onboard propane. All right. Okay. Let me get back up here. Just so you know, this hole in the side here, I should have stayed down there and showed you. But basically, you get a crank with it. Let me get back down here. And let's see where it's at here. There's the hole. Okay, right up there, you can see there's a shaft there with a pin through it. Basically, you can put the crank through that hole and crank out the slide out or back in the slide out. If it fails, you can always crank it in. It takes a lot of cranking, but it beats driving home with your slide out, I guess. So each of the rear slide outs will have a port. There's one on the other side like that you can crank the door side slide with. Okay. Let me just close this up and real quick. Okay, moving along. This is just storage here. I don't have the key on me, so I won't bother opening it for you, but it's storage. And then you have outdoor speakers, power awnings, two of them. Okay. The stairs fold right into the trailer. Very stable. This is where your grill will hang, and this is where your utility table will hang. There's another quick connect underneath this spot here where you'll plug your grill in. All right, this table is inside the trailer. Oh, let's see here. It's actually right down here below this part here. It's a metal table. That is your grill. I call it a grill. Actually, it's a griddle. All right. This brass goldish colored crank is the one you'll use for your slide outs if they ever were to fail. And this one right here, this long one, that one you use for your tongue jack. In case it happens to fail, you can pull this plug out of the top here and use a crank and crank it manually. So you can always get yourself out of trouble. All right. Also, you have your hitch in here. We'll go over that with you. It's a weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. It's a Husky centerline hitch, so after we show this to you, in case if there's any, if you need to refresh your memory, you can go on their website and they've got good hookup videos. They'll show you the same thing that we do, so you can always refer to that. And there's a starter kind of a dump hose. You'll want to get something better. And there's a reducer to reduce 30 to 50 amp or 30 to 15 amp. We also have a reducer that reduces 50 down to 30 because this is a 50 amp trailer. So you have to, if you want to plug it in at home, you'll have to use both the reducers. Just keep in mind that your air conditioners won't run off of 15 amps. So if you plug it in at home, you can use everything in the trailer, but the air conditioner will eventually pop your circuit breaker. Alright, you have antenna out there, coax, and you have power and a mount so you can hang a TV out here if you choose to. This is your front stabilizer. Works both the door side and off door side. You got two deep cycle marine batteries in this trailer. This has a shut off, a battery kill switch. Let me see if I can. I'm going to set the phone down for 1 second here. Hold on. Okay. Getting back down here, this is a kill switch for your battery. You just turn it this way to turn it on and off. Hopefully you can see that there. It's on right now. You're always going to keep it on except when you put it in storage. The reason you would shut it off in storage is because even if you shut off all the lights in the trailer, the LP and carbon monoxide monitors, for example, the alarms are hardwired to the battery, so they'll still draw power. This way you can shut it off completely when you put it in storage so it doesn't drain down your battery. Two 30-pound tanks. This is an automatic changeover regulator. You can see right now it's red. This is just an indicator. You point, it's not a tank selector. You point this little pointer there. You can point it at the tank you want to check. You notice when I switched it over here, it turned green. That's because this tank was off. I wanted to show you it turned from red to green, but I screwed that up. So keep in mind that it's just going to tell you if there's no gas. So if there's no gas in the tank, it'll turn red. If there's gas, it turns green. This is automatic changeover, so it'll draw this one down first, then it'll draw this tank down automatically. All right. I hope that made sense to you. You have power tongue jack. This is your water heater here. I can open it up for you. Do it that way. There we go. So this one works on both gas and electric. Just so you know, there's a switch here. If you can see it, let me see if I can focus on it here. Right there. Right now it's on, but there's water in the tank. And keep in mind, there's a switch on this trailer. There's also an electric switch inside the trailer. So you have two switches which are redundant, but this is kind of a holdover for trailers that don't have the electrical switch inside. They have it right here outside. So just keep in mind you can turn this on and off, and there's also a switch inside for that. There's also a switch inside that'll light it on gas also. You can do it either way. This is your drain here. Let me see if I'm focusing. Your drain right there, 1.16" socket. Okay, so that's basically it. It's a 6-gallon water heater. Alrighty. Okay, and this is your water station here. Basically, your city water connection is right here. I'm having a hard time seeing because of the sun here, so hopefully I'm doing a good job for you with this. But that's the where you hook your hose up for your city water. Now, if you happen to go to a campground that doesn't have plumbing on the campsite and you need to fill your fresh water tank, your onboard demand tank, you can fill that right here. And there's a water pump inside the trailer. On the control panel, you can turn it on and off. It'll pump your water and pressurize everything. You can still use, the shower and the toilet and the sinks and everything, even if you don't have city water. They're independent of each other, so if you have city water, you do not have to worry about the onboard water. Okay. Also on this panel here, is an antifreeze inlet to winterize your trailer. So you winterize it from out here. You'll basically screw a hose on here. It's got a regular a garden hose fitting, and the other end goes to the gallon of antifreeze, and that's how you draw the antifreeze into your trailer. You have to remember that you always have to bypass your water heater before you pump any antifreeze into it. So if you're going to do it yourself, I don't know what your experience level is, but if you don't know how to do it, you have to have someone else do it, but it has to be bypassed. There are valves on the back. All right. Also, this is a black tank flush. So let me see if I can get you a good view here. So, all right, down here are your dump valves. You're going to hook your hose right on here. The other end goes to your dump station. This wide one here with the black handle is your black tank, which is toilet, water, and waste. This one down here is gray water, sink and shower water. So basically you're going to pull the gate valve and drain your black tank first, and then you're going to drain the gray tank second because it's cleaner water than the black tank water. But you also have a flush on this one, which is back here to the control panel. It's this one right here. You'll hook the hose from the dump station up right here. And basically it says here, make sure that the black tank valve is open right before you turn on the water. So you'll turn it on, it has jets inside, it'll clean out the inside of your tank, clean the sensors off, so it's a good thing to do. Also, cable and satellite through to the entertainment center. All right. This is how you access the back of your water heater for the bypass valves. Also, you could select through this little valve here. You can sort of see it right there between the other two hoses. Use that to select between the freshwater tank or this antifreeze port on the outside. So whichever hose the handle is parallel with is the one that's open. So right now it'll draw from your freshwater tank. But if you were to shift it to this position here, let me see if I can get it like that. Now it's running parallel with this line, which goes to this port. So you put it in that position, turn on your water pump, and it'll draw antifreeze in. Okay. All right. Moving along. Also, there's a fresh water drain right there. That's for your freshwater tank. It's an outside shower for kids and dogs and feet and what have you. That's your furnace exhaust. This is the service panel for your refrigerator. You don't really have to go in there. It's just for servicing your refrigerator. There's the other port I told you about for if you want to crank the other slide out in. This would crank the door side slide in. You have a 50 amp cord, 25 feet long. You can see right now we've got it reduced down to a 30. And I showed you there was a reducer inside your front compartment that would even reduce it down to a 15. Okay. Now this trailer is pre-wired for a backup camera. You can see the housing up there. If you get one, we do sell them here. It's made by Furion. Either way, you have to get the proper camera that fits into that housing. And that way you can, when you turn on your running lights, you'll be able to see behind you when you're backing up or driving down the road or whatever. You have a ladder so you can easily access the roof. Now you want to inspect the roof of this trailer at least 3 times a year. So you figure in the spring, in the fall, and then once in the middle of the summer, you'll go up there and check all the seals on the roof. And you're just inspecting it to make sure that there's no separation or cracking starting. And if that does happen, you're going to want to get it taken care of by somebody who knows how to do it, or do it yourself if you know. But you have to inspect the roof. That's very important. 3 times a year. And there is a receiver. You can put an attachment there to carry your bicycle, or put a box or a rack on the back, whatever. Okay, so let's go inside. Alright, so I still have some stuff laying on the floor here. We're still cleaning, so it's a little bit dirty, but we have to fit these videos in here. So here's your control panel. You see you got your 3 slide rooms and your 2 awnings. Okay. You have your lights. This is the Wi-Fi Ranger. I'll go over that in 1 second. I told you that you can turn your water heater on gas or electric. That's here and here. Make sure there's water in the tank before you turn it on. This is where you would turn the water pump on for onboard water from your fresh water tank or for winterizing. And this is a tank heater. Your tanks have heating pads on that extends the camping season. Just keeps it from freezing to a certain point. You check your levels here. See that your battery is charged. Fresh water is empty. It graduates up in 1/3 increments as it fills. Black is empty. Gray is empty. Okay. So the Wi-Fi Ranger, basically what it is, it's a signal booster that will basically boost the signal like campground and free Wi-Fi sites. So if you look down here at the sticker, when you look at your phone, let's say, when you're trying to find the Wi-Fi Ranger, yours is Sky4 LTE 5559. You'll know that's yours. The temporary password has changed me now, 5559. And if you want to see everything that your Wi-Fi Ranger sees, you go to this website. There's an IP address there at the bottom. You would punch in your password, and you'll be able to see what the Wi-Fi Ranger sees. So the idea is you'll hook all your devices, your tablets and your phones, whatever. You'll put the passwords into the devices so it connects to the Wi-Fi Ranger. Then when you get to the campground, for example, you'll just connect the Wi-Fi Ranger to their public Wi-Fi, and it boosts the signal really well. It's got a built-in firewall. It also has a second function that you have to pay for. It will take a SIM card, and you can basically it's a paid service, just like if you had a tablet or another phone, something you're going to pay a monthly fee on. But it just gives you more connectivity, that's all. Most people just go with the free Wi-Fi aspect of it, but it's up to you. You know, some people work from the road, whatever, so they need more connection to the internet. So Wi-Fi Ranger, you can always go to their website, and they have more videos and all kinds of information. Plus you can call the 800 number, they can help you out that way. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so the slide room out. So this one going out, off door side. You hear the wipe seals wiping the outside. Okay. Right when you hear the ratcheting, you take your finger off the button, then you go to the next one, which is the door side. Out it goes. Huge living area, as I'm sure you're well aware of that. Okay, and then the wardrobe slide I already have out, I believe. Let's see. So that one's already out. Then the awnings are just operated right here, extend and retract. Just remember that you never leave the awnings out when this trailer is unattended. So if you're leaving the campsite, you bring the awnings in, because the wind can come up fast and damage things really quickly. Okay, your couch obviously folds forward into a hide-a-bed. I'm sure you know about this, but you'll take the cushions off, and then it folds out into a 3-panel bed, and it's actually comfortable. It's made out of foam. You have a fireplace here. Works on 110 AC. I don't have the remote in my hand, so I'll just show you manually how it works. You're going to turn it on there. You have you can change the fire, right? You can dim the fire. Whoops, I accidentally shut it off there with my other finger. And you can do the temperature from there. So you have those functions, and it's a good space heater. It has a fan in it, so you can take the chill out of the trailer in the morning or late at night, just using electricity. That way you don't have to use your propane. Okay, so the radio and disc player is basically to play CDs, DVDs. You can stream off of this USB port here, so you could put all your MP3s or you could play the MP3s on your phone. Let me back up here. You can put your MP3s on a USB stick and stream off of it, for example. And it also has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly and play your MP3s off your phone or tablet. It has different zones, 3 zones. One is this room here. Zone 2 is the bedroom, and Zone 3 is outside. So it does that. It has an HDMI, and that's an in. So if you wanted to have a game that's for rainy days, a game machine that also plays Blu-rays, you could just set it down here on this cubby here and plug straight into it. It'll go through the sound system into your TV. Alright, so it does a lot of things. You have storage behind the TV. You just push this up, like so. So you know this is the signal booster for your digital antenna right here. You can see it's green. I can shut it off, but you always want to have it on or you'll get a lousy picture. Alright. Alright. Your chairs, they massage, they vibrate, they heat. So it does both that, plus it's got a light on it. You also get little tables that plug into their TV tables, which are probably, they're right in here. Okay. And they recline also. To recline it, you pull the ripcord right here, and the footrest will pop up and the back will go back. Your refrigerator is a two-way gas absorption refrigerator, so it'll run on 110 AC or LP gas. You turn it on there. You basically, you can select auto, which means electricity. The reason they call it auto is because it always seeks out electricity. Let's say you're plugged in at a campground and you have a power outage, it'll automatically switch over to gas so you don't spoil your food. You can put it on gas to pull it down the road, just like that. If this check light comes on, it means it didn't light. If that ever happens, you're just going to shut it off and turn it back on, and it'll cycle through again, okay? Generally, you're going to have it on auto. All right, one last thing. This device here is a thermistor, this right here. So you slide this up as far as it goes and it gets cooler. I don't know if I can focus on that sticker, but it says cool at the top and warmer at the bottom. So the higher you go with it, the cooler it gets. This trailer comes with, let me pick this up here, we're still programming it, but it comes with a tire sensor monitor, which is wireless. You'll keep that up in your tow vehicle with you. We'll go over that with you when you pick up. Basically, you spark to light just by pushing that button. That's all there is to it. Okay. You can operate the oven by putting it on pilot, if you can see that. Then you depress it. Okay, then you're just going to spark it right here until the pilot light lights. The pilot light is underneath the second shelf down there. I don't know if you can see it. But when it lights, you hold it, still holding this in now. You haven't taken pressure off it. You're still holding it in, but when it lights, you hold it for another 10 seconds or so. Go to whatever temperature you want, and it'll cycle like a regular oven. But when you go back to off, your flame will go out, and also the pilot light will go out. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. All right, so the microwave works like any other microwave. It's a big one. This GFCI, all the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. There's 2 of them in this trailer, so if you're using a coffee pot on the outside, for example, and it pops it, you're going to have to reset one of these. I'm not sure exactly how they're wired. You'll have to just... Generally, a good rule of thumb is to divide the trailer in half and think that this covers the rear half, and then the one in the bathroom will cover the front half. One little more thing here. This is your thermostat. So you're basically going to go through the systems here. That's off, cool, heat, off, and this is all zone 1, right? You can change the zone here. Now let me make sure I'm off here. Yes, I'm off. Everything, when you use them, there's a delay, so basically give it about 5 seconds before it turns on or turns off. That's just the way it is. Also, I'm going to pause this video because I can only run this phone for so long before it'll stop. So I'll just stop and then start part 2. I just want you to know that they say there's a sensor here. That's just saying that the wiring is behind there for the sensor. In case you add a second air conditioner, this would be zone 2. This trailer is 50 amps, so it's pre-wired for a second air conditioner. It fits in this vent here, and that's why they have a sensor there for you. So I'm going to just close out part 1 right now, and I'll start part 2, and we'll go from there.